Hello, everybody. This is Xiao-Fury or Natalie or whichever one you want to call me. I don't care. I am once again back at the park. Well, as you can see, no goal. They took it down some weeks ago, all in preparation for this pandemic. Some good news on my side of the world. This is the same park from the last video. And they took down the 5 o'clock restrictions, so thank God for that. It's a beautiful day, very gorgeous day. Decided to come out and make another video discussing a few things, some awesome things that are going on. So in another part of the United States, particularly Lansing, Michigan, if I pronounced it wrong, do forgive me. They are protesting against their governor. I forget her name, but she, just like a good handful of these governors, have totally gone crazy with their stay-at-home policies, which I think they weren't supposed to be policies per se. They were supposed to be like, orders from the CDC. And it's just, you know what, y'all? The whole social distancing thing is a scam in its own right. Because as I may have said in the other video, is that we've all been quarantined, whether we're sick or not. And the most disgusting thing about it is that they're treating us all like we have the virus. I remember when this stuff started, it was at first, they could identify who had COVID-19 and they put them in quarantine and then they were released. And then suddenly we all have it. I mean, okay, I really need a doctor to let me know if I'm sick or not. I'm old enough to determine that. And that's when things started to go downhill and they forced us to go home, took away our jobs, etc. So eventually, as I won't say I predict, I'm going to just thank the Lord for giving me that wisdom to call out that there would be, in the long run, protest. There would be anger. There would be people getting absolutely tired of this nonsense. I mean, this whole stay 6 feet apart stuff. I mean, really. For instance, when I go to my grocery store, they have all the provisions, if you will, on what we need to do to get in the store. They got people handing us sanitary wipes, I guess, those things. And they got people with the hand sanitizer that you squirt into your hand and all that stuff. And some of the, especially at Walmart, because everybody must have a Walmart, I would hope, or, when you go on Walmart, they have it so like a maze and you got to go this way, go that way, just so we can all meet at the entrance where everybody is not 6 feet apart. And then when you go inside the grocery store, you're definitely not 6 feet apart. But when you go by the cashier or the cash registers, then they have the dumb little guidelines that you gotta stand 6 feet apart. Because that makes sense. After we've already done bumped shoulders all throughout the grocery store. Oh, man, and his dumb ideas. But eventually, because as I said in the other video, the stuff is depressing. I've already been up and down with depression because I'm just so tired of being at my house. I am tired of the situation that's going on. I was already mad. But thankfully, the lovely people of Michigan, particularly Lansing, if I pronounced it right, they are putting their money where their mouth is. And they are protesting in their cars. They got knotted cars. And they're making the news. And I pray to the Lord that more of this happens. Now, I don't want violence, but It's just that after a while, thank God they still have civil-minded people in America where enough is enough. Enough is definitely enough. We should be working right now. This virus has been overblown. Yes, people died, but for goodness sake, I don't recall any time in our history of being a country that we had to shut down simply because of an illness. I mean, and not that I'm being heartless to those who have the virus, but it's just that life goes on. But there's a whole bunch of things going on behind the curtain with this virus, because it's not just America. You know, other parts of the world, almost the entire world, has gotten hit with this COVID garbage, which originated out of Wuhan, China. I know nobody doesn't want to say that nowadays, well, but I'm saying it. But the happy news again is that the good folks in Michigan, they've had enough because their mayor have been taking away almost all of their essentials. I've been hearing reports that, that they can't go fishing, they can't go meet their neighbors, they can't go to the hardware store, they can't do nothing except watch the wall, I guess. And that's another thing that's always offended me with this mess, is that, we're at home, right? And the majority of these dumb COVID-19 commercials lecturing us on how to wash our hands, because nobody knows how to wash their hands anymore, apparently. And this dumb social distancing stuff. God, I hope this is not the new normal, because we human beings, we need touch. You know, I'm not saying that people should just start grabbing at folks. No, I don't mean it like that. But, you know, shaking hands, a warm hug, a kiss, or if you're an intimate couple, you know, you'll do much more than that. And it's your business. But they want us to completely be separated from each other, as if, you know, this is going to create bitterness. And it's going to create problems. It's already creating problems. Then the whole wearing the mask thing, which I've covered in the other video, it's just, boy, this stuff has been so frustrating. And of course, you know, the government talking about handing out the stimulus checks, which I'm certain people may have received already. But there's just a bad thing about that. Sorry, I put my hand right there. There was a bug on my shoulder. But it's just, with the stimulus checks, that's creating a problem too. Because the government wants nothing more than for its people to be slaves. I can talk forever about how the welfare system creates a people that no longer wants to work. And I, being a black woman, and I say that because my race, my people, we have been hit the hardest with the welfare scam. You know, they constantly keep throwing it down our face that we need help for every single thing. We need help just to blink our eyes. We need a welfare check for everything. And when you constantly keep on receiving handouts, you're not going to want to work anymore. You're going to like the idea of, hey, you know, $1,200 every month or so, and I don't have to sweat, and I don't have to deal with customers. Sure. And some people have already fallen into that mindset before the stimulus check came on the scene. We know it as welfare. And I'm not saying that every person who has a welfare check is greedy. You know, a lot of people fall on hard times and they just absolutely need the extra funds so that they can get back on their feet and start working again. But, I'm only bringing this up because the government is no good. And the government loves to give out handouts because handouts equals votes for them. And that's why the black community is so plagued with so many of these people who don't think about nothing else except, if I don't vote, if I don't vote for this guy or this girl, I'm not going to get my check. Goodness, I'm going to have to work again. Well, rest assured, my listeners, this black lady loves to work. And sure, okay, thanks for the money, but I want to go back to my job. So, I know I digressed there a bit, but anyway, I'm really proud of the state of Michigan because this is the revolt that we need. There needed to be civil disobedience because the government has put their hands on our freedom once again. And there should always be these type of protests when our freedoms are being taken away. And I know that we've already lost a lot of our freedoms previously. But I'm just glad for the outrage. I pray it doesn't turn violent. And I just pray that it'll be enough for all the governors and mayors to realize that, hey, look, it's time for us to just open up shop. Let the American people work again. That's what I want. That's what I hope. And in Jesus' name, we'll see. But today is gorgeous, I must say. Spirit feels a little different. And by spirit, I'm talking about the overall atmosphere of the people. I'm not crazy when I say this, but I know that people know the difference when Saturday and Sunday are here. There's just a spirit change in the atmosphere. Like for most people who are, who actually do get the weekends off. My job, it depends on if I actually got the weekends off. But, it was a shared spirit. It was usually a TGIF type of spirit. Thank God it's Friday spirit. But it does feel a little better in the air right now. But I'm just hoping that, again, these governors, these mayors will just stop with the nonsense and let us go back to work. And last I'll say, I still believe that what has happened to the world is still a form of punishment. I'm just hoping that we won't just go back to our regular lives like normal. Hey, okay, we got the movie theaters open. We got our football teams, basketball teams, or whatever teams are all playing again. And then we just go back to doing the same old, which is likely to happen. Because sometimes you can punish somebody a whole bunch of times and they'll still just not get why they're being punished. So that's it for right now. Again, I'm enjoying this very lovely day. Nice breeze in the air. People are out and about more than last time. And in Jesus' name, I just hope that, particularly the church, and we'll get our acts together and go back to serving the Lord like how we are supposed to be doing as I speak. And that's all for now, y'all. See you later.